Kelly Shaw, Rocky Mountain Sasquatch Organization. I just wanted to show you some of the equipment that you'll find in one of our backpacks on any given day. A lot of people make comments on some of our videos and can't believe that we're out of breath, but we do carry a lot of weight with us, and we're at high elevations. I live at 4,200 feet elevation, and most of the places we Bigfoot are 7 to 10,000, even above 10,000 feet. But most of the places are between 7 and 10,000 feet, and the air is pretty thin there. And so one of the things that we have in our backpacks is some of this oxygen. It's 95% oxygen. A canister this size will give you about 150 breaths, and believe it or not, it's very, very light. When we get 8,000 feet plus, we really like this. When you get winded, you just stop and rest for a second and take 2 or 3 good breaths off of this, and then go again. I've read articles about studies about altitude sickness, and the United States Army did a study, and they plan on 25% of their troops, when they're doing maneuvers above 8,000 feet, to come down with altitude sickness at one time or another. And I know 75% of my team has had altitude sickness at one time or another, and this really helps out. I mean, it doesn't prevent it, but it does help out. At high altitude, you're just supposed to take a step or two, take a good breath or two, even if you're comfortable with just taking a step, couple of breaths, a step, couple of breaths, especially when you're climbing really steep angles at high altitude. So that's one of the things, and this is very light, and you only need one of them per outing. It usually takes me about 2 outings up about around 10,000 feet for me to use a whole canister of oxygen. Something else that we pack around are our game cameras. And different types of game cameras have different specialties. Like, say for instance, this giant one right here. It has one of the fastest triggers. It has one of the fastest triggers in the game camera community. I don't know, but anyway, for the trigger to work at its really fast speed of a little less than a half of a second, it has to be on pictures, even if that's a burst of pictures. It doesn't utilize that in the video mode. And then something else about this giant camera is it's got an LCD screen, so that you can view your videos or pictures or whatever you captured right away. You know, 90% of the game cameras on the market, you know, you have to hook it to a computer, so we always try and keep a laptop back at base camp, you know, if it's feasible, so that we can check right away what we captured or did not capture on the game cameras. And then, of course, besides the game cameras, you know, we got other cameras that we use. I would like to show you guys one of our game cameras that got munched by an animal. It bit it right here. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but there's a tooth mark right there. It bit into this, and then it also bit right here. One of its teeth scraped right here, and it dented in our light array. So even if we would have had this in a bear protecting full metal jacket, this is exposed, this is exposed, it still had the potential to do damage to our camera. Okay, and then I would like to show you a little bit about our cameras. Here's one of our GoPros. This one you can put right on your head, and these cameras we like to use when we start getting in areas where we feel or we hear that we're being stalked. It's always nice to turn on one of these cameras, and maybe they'll catch something that you don't when you're focusing on what's in front of you. And here's an action camera. This one straps to the chest with the chest harness. You can also put this one pointing behind, like this type of backpack. This is the type of backpack Jenny likes to use when we're backpack camping. You know, we have our day packs when we know we're just going out for a day and back to a base camp. But when we're actually camping overnight, Jenny prefers one with a frame, and then I have a large one without a frame. Jenny likes to strap a lot of things to this frame. She's usually the kitchen when we go on these, so she'll, you know, have pots, pans, or whatever strapped to the outside of this. She also will put a camera up here. So Derek's got one of these frame backpacks that he'll strap a camera to this facing backwards. And I've gone through dozens of hours of these action cameras facing backwards or the left or the right. This is the most boringest part of my job, watching action cam or GoPro footage. Then we have our normal everyday cameras, and I'm filming you with the day camera that I use. It's a Canon 50X. These blue cameras are some high definition night vision cameras. That's their specialty, is night vision, but we can also use them for daytime. When we're actually using them at night, we'll strap some infrared light arrays on them. We have one more that we use that's more like a flashlight shape, and it's got a little bit more range than these. I don't have it right now, so I can't show you, but that gives us about 3 times the range at night as these. And you actually need some type of infrared light reflecting off of something so the camera can pick it up. So when we do our night hikes and stuff, we like to go during full phase of the moon. It really helps us be able to see and capture images at night. And what's the use of going out looking for Bigfoot at night if you don't have a chance of capturing something? Okay, and then we also take up audio recorders. And these audio recorders, depending on the SD card size and whether the batteries are new or not, you can record 6 to 12 hours. That's something else that's pretty boring to review. Brody reviews a lot of that for us. He also uses software to help pinpoint places where there's noise. But in my opinion, if you get a distance howl or a distant whoop, you're not always going to see that spike on the software. So in my opinion, you still have to listen to it all anyway to see if you captured something during the night. These are what you want to leave on all night long. We have our handheld GPS, so to help us not get lost, to help us find our way back to the car or the base camp and stuff. We have these, and then we find a trackway of footprints. We find a structure. We really like to use them on the structures. That's one of our studies, is when we find structures in Bigfoot sighting hot spots. We like to see where they're at, because one of our hypotheses is they surround a territorial area. They may be territorial markers. We don't know. That's why we study them, so that maybe one day we can have some answers to why those structures there, and if perhaps Bigfoot's making them. We also have our defense items. This is what I throw on if I'm even just going out of the car and planning on only hiking a couple of 100 feet in bear and squatch country and stuff. I throw this on. I've got my water. I usually have my GPS inside of here. I also have a tape measure inside of here, and then I've got my survival knife with a little bit of 550 cord, and I got my bear mace. So I don't know, I feel like even though I don't have a firearm, I have a lot of protection and a lot of survival tools right here. This is a knife made by Les Stroud. It was designed, and he puts out these knives. But I got a tinder box here. I've got a fire starter on this other side. A whistle and a little flashlight. That's what I carry on me. And then it's just a shoulder sling thing, and then Jenny also has a shoulder sling, and see what she has in hers right now. She's got some mace, and she's got some oxygen, and then she's also got a light source. She's got her headlamp, and then she just throws whatever else she thinks she might need in there. If we're going more than a couple of 100 yards from the car, then of course we usually will bring our day packs. And what's really heavy in our day packs usually is our water. And then we also have our casting kits. 3 bottles, which the other bottle's back here. 3 bottles of this, and then 2 bottles of water. You can usually do a pretty deep 17-inch footprint if you find one or a casting, depending on how deep it is. I casted one this summer that was so deep that I used nearly 2 full casting kits, so almost 6 of these to fill that in. It just sunk in so deep. And then of course you need water to drink and water to make your casting kit. Here's another type of casting kit too that, a friend of mine this summer, this is what he uses for his casting kits. And then I was talking about a light source. Jenny always brings some light sticks. This is also hers. And I have one in my backpack. It's a solar powered light. It's very light, and you get caught out there after dark, or if you're planning on staying out there after dark. I mean, this gives you 12 hours of light or better on a full charge. And I always pack it in the top of my backpack with this faced up, so it's charging the whole daylight hours I'm packing around. I mean, the sun does penetrate through this top layer enough that this does get a charge, believe it or not. Something else is our survival gear. I always have some 550 cord, and then I've got conventional compass, and then also another water source. I've got a filter straw, so you can drink right out of the rivers or lakes and stuff if you need to with this. I try not to use it unless absolutely necessary. I always try to plan on bringing enough water when I'm out. And then here's my first aid kit. I always have some duct tape in my first aid kit, some gauze, some wrap, a little bit of mosquito spray, some poison ivy, poison oak, whatever, spray to relieve that. And then I bring whatever medication I think I'm gonna need. I usually bring like Benadryl, ibuprofen, and then if I'm having to take medication for anything, I bring that too. Also some toilet paper. Toilet paper is a good tinder, and then everybody can always use toilet paper. Something else in our backpacks is sometimes you'll find some gorilla pheromone. Or how about some DNA traps? Use the gorilla pheromone and put these underneath the gorilla pheromone. Anything that steps on this, it doesn't hurt the animal, but it captures a little pinprick of their blood and a flesh sample. so you can possibly get tested for DNA if you see a trackway of a Bigfoot step over that. We've got a couple of these pheromone chips out there this winter with some game cameras on them. And hopefully if Bigfoot's related to the ape family, they'll be interested in the pheromone. Some other camera accessories. Here's a monopod where you can keep the camera right here, maybe like a pocket camera. I always carry, this is my pocket camera by the way, and I'm filming with the camera that I usually have out in the field. I have it on a monopod. This gives me some stability with the camera, and I can also use this as a walking stick. I'm sure you guys will sometimes in my videos hear me hit the ground with it, but this monopod has saved me from a lot of falls. So it's really good to have if you're gonna, if you're gonna have your hand occupied where you're up backpacking or hiking. It might as well be a multi-purpose item. So not only is this my camera stick, this is my hiking stick. Okay, and then I want to show you what we use for protection. I'll try to carry a bear mace while we're armed or not. And I just showed you guys my bear mace. And then we also have these wrist maces. This is jogging mace that you can just throw on your wrist. You're not going to drop it. It's not going to get knocked out of your hand. Usually when we bring guests or people with us that don't have any kind of protection, we ask them to wear them on their wrist. These have about a 25-foot range at the longest, but they're only accurate really up to about 15 feet. So they have to be right on you to use it. And then, these canisters have about a 35-foot range, and they should work against moose, bear, or any attacking animal. Has about the same chances against any mammal, and it doesn't permanently damage their eyes and they go away. And I feel like any attacking animal that has mace used on it, it's going to think twice before it approaches a human. So I like that aspect of it. You're not taking the animal out of the environment, especially since you're encroaching upon where it lives. And then a lot of our team members, they'll bring firearms. This is Jenny's firearm. She has mace, and if that doesn't work on an attacking animal and it keeps up the attack, she has her firearm. This is her 45 semi-auto. It's probably about the smallest 45 auto that you can get, but she also has that for protection. And then I want to show you guys something else that we use at night. This is a 1 million candle spotlight, and this is what we use on our night hikes. And then from the automobile, when we're out spotlighting, we use a 3 million candle amp. And then I was going to show you guys a little bit about the kitchen. I told you that Jenny usually has, like a cooking pot strapped to this, and of course we'll pad it up with bags and stuff so that it doesn't rattle when we're hiking. But she carries the kitchen, and this can be set right over a fire. And then can't make a fire because it's either too wet or it's too dry, and you just shouldn't have a fire in the area. Then we have our one burner stove is a backup, and you just boil some water. Or that's why I carry this type of water bottle, so that I can boil water if I need to. And one of the things we like to boil water for is when we're up backpack camping is some of these freeze-dried goodies. Actually, this is one of my favorite one. I think Jenny likes it too. Chicken and rice. This other one, Jamaican style jerk rice with chicken. A freeze-dried meal doesn't sound yummy at all, but after putting in about 12 hours of backpacking, It's pretty good. Definitely isn't all of our gear, and we do carry up a ton of water. If we're going to be up hiking a 12-hour day, we all want 6 to 12 of these each. And then, of course, we need several waters for our casting kits. All right, well, I think that's about it. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.